So I got a question for you guys. If nothing else changes, everything stays the same. Your mindset, your habits, your friend group, your performance on the job, the way in which you treat your body, the way in which you treat your relationship, how you get up in the morning and move through the day. If none of that changes, my question for you is, what would life look like 5 years from now? 5 years from today, if nothing else changes, what would life look like? Would you have any more money? Would you have better health? Would you have lost weight? Would you have a better friend group? Would your marriage or your relationship be better? Clearly the obvious answer is no. And so what that means is, in order for you to become the person your future requires, you have to change. The problem with most people is they don't need more motivation. They don't need more information. They just need to develop better systems, better habits. It's one of the reasons why I started Become, to help folks install a better operating system. You know, our phones regularly updates the operating systems because after so long, the old operating systems aren't optimal or conducive for all of the new inputs. And so our phones send us what's called, updates. If you got an Apple, then you get iOS updates. If you have an Android, you get system updates as well. We update our cars. If we can't afford to get a new car, we get oil change. We rotate tires, get new tires, get tune-ups. We do all the things to keep the vehicle running in its optimal potential. The problem is, we don't do that for ourselves. We don't upgrade or update our operating system. And we question and wonder why we still feel stuck. Right? We question, man, I just seem like I just can't get ahead. I just can't, get better, do better, have a better whatever. The reason why you're stuck, the reason why you can't seem to get a better job or to save some money in order that you might upgrade your home or maybe even upgrade that car that's falling apart. The only reason why that's not happening for you is because you have not intentionally upgraded your personal operating system. You're still operating based on old data, old inputs. For instance, there are many of us who still believe that you have to go to college and get a good quote-unquote education in order to get a good job so that you might earn a good living. I'm here to tell you that's an old operating system. Right? There are teenagers who are making millions of dollars, never have been to college, never finished high school, haven't finished high school yet, and yet they're operating on today's operating system. They are doing what today requires to earn a living. You can earn a living from the comfort of your own home. There is AI, the internet, and all the opportunity in the world at the end of your arm, known as a cell phone, to generate income that would blow your mind. The problem is, you have not even allowed yourself to consider that the way in which you've been operating needs to change. We all know the sort of street definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And while we all know that definition, we've all quoted it at some point in time, we all still do it. We're still doing the same old things and looking for different and better results. I'm here to tell you that the only way things will change is if you change. The only way you're going to change is not by learning new information. It's not by being motivated and or inspired. It is by installing an operating system in your life that guarantees you become the person that your future requires. I spend 8 hours a day helping people install new operating systems. I have the benefit and absolute pleasure of being an inpatient drug rehabilitation counselor. And so for 8 hours a day, I am helping men learn and install new operating systems, new mindset, a new way of thinking, a new approach to life, so that they can upgrade their lives. I've only been at this particular profession for about, this particular position I've been at it about 3 months now. What is this? August? Yeah, so 3 months now. And I've had the pleasure and privilege of helping nearly 100 men now change their lives, turn their lives around, simply by installing new operating systems, helping them recognize that the system that they were running was not optimal. And so I'm just here to tell you tonight that you have to install a new operating system in order for you to become the person that your future requires. Your future requires a better version of you. That does not happen by continuing to operate the way you've always operated. If you're still getting up, dreading the day, if you're still staying up late at night, scrolling the phone, watching TV and falling asleep to it, dreading the next morning, I got to go to this job, I got to do this thing. If that is still your existence, then I'm encouraging you to upgrade your operating system. You have to spend the time to intentionally become the person that your future requires. Who is that person? What's required for that person to become who they need to be? What time does that person need to go to bed at night? What time does that person need to get up in the morning? What kind of books does that person, that version of you, need to read? How does that individual, that version of you, manage their money? What does that version of you do in their relationship, with their marriage, with the husband, with the wife? How much time does that version of you spend with the children? How much time does that version of you spend developing, gaining more skills? Because the truth is, 5 years Lord willing, you keep breathing in and out. It's coming whether you like it or not. The only difference is, the only question to ask yourself is, what version of me will be staring back at me in the mirror? Would I be satisfied with this current version? Or do I want a much better version of me staring back at the mirror 5 years from now? And so I just want to share a little personal story with you. As many of you know, wife and I just celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary 2 days ago. I decided that I wanted to be 185 pounds on our anniversary. And the truth is, the formula was eat less, move more, drink more water. And so the question for me to answer was, what was required in order for me to be 185 pounds on August 4th, 2026? Well, I just told you what was required was eat less, move more, drink more water. And so I designed a system that forced me into the thing that I did not want to do. What I decided to do was, every time I craved sweets or cookies, I got up and went on a walk. What I decided to do was not allow cookies in the house for a period of time so that I can get beyond my cravings of eating sweets and having cookies. Now, was it a perfect system? Absolutely not. But what I did was installed a system. I've had to modify that system. I've had to make adjustments. But ultimately, the weight started coming off. I started the year at 212 pounds. And on August 4th, I weighed 190 pounds. Now, I didn't get to 185 pounds like I desired. But the point is, I installed an operating system that said what is required of me to become that person 8 months from now. And that's the system I operated from. I'm here to tell you, you already know what's required of you. You already know that you don't read enough. You already know that you're not the smartest person on the job. You already know that you're not the most disciplined. You already know these things. And so why not do what you already know is required for you to do? Why not become the person that your future requires? What do you want 5 years from now? What do you want? What do you want 5 years from now? What's required in order for you to become that person? I'm Shaughnessy Johnson, founder of Become the Person Your Future Requires.